because when it was, if you notice, when it was East Germany, and you know, it wasn't westernized. Being a weightlifter meant something. You got respect. There was some financial reward. There was the ability to travel abroad. They had a lot of very, very good weightlifters. Since the wall came down,
the unification.
They're in a very similar situation to us now, because the motivation is not there. They don't need to become fantastic sports people to travel the world and to earn reasonable money. And this is one of the big factors, especially in a repetitive sport like weightlifting.
It's also a fact that there's far more choice for young boys, young women to look at the sort of sports that are available now, particularly the professional sports. Obviously golf and tennis would be right at the top of that league. It's quite interesting to see that I heard this morning that the bonuses for the England football team, if they were successful at the forthcoming World Cup next year, up to £350,000 a man.
I think that in that scenario, though, it almost kind of it goes against the motivation, because if you take a young player and you give him everything before he's achieved his best, in some ways it can be quite demotivating, because he's got all the money he needs. I mean, it's like if you take a sport like boxing, you very rarely see any public school boys winning boxing matches, because it is a tough sport where you can get smashed around and even killed. It's always people that come from backgrounds where maybe they've got to work their way up.
Well, I think the only way I'd give the England football team that sort of bonus is if they win it. If they don't win it, they don't get a bonus.
Well, yeah, but the point is, does a £350,000 bonus when you're on over £100,000 a week? How motivational is that? It's 3 weeks' wages. I mean, I don't see how it's a motivation. And I think if you've already got enough money that money's not an issue anymore, then the only thing that's really going to motivate you is the love of the sport.
Well, here's a man who most definitely does love his sport. Very dedicated.
Oh yeah.
Now, 145 to open.
Yes, already succeeded on 145. And he's now on, I think he's on 148, but actually he's on 149. Couldn't quite see the colour of those smaller discs on the ends there. That's good.
It is good. He's just a kilo below where he was in Europe earlier in the year, so he's got a sort of similar approach to the clean and jerk as it was in the snatch phase. When he went 118, 123, 126, he was just looking to at least improve on his European marks for the season, and I think that's where he's headed in terms of the clean and jerk. Let's hope he makes it on this particular occasion.
So 150 for the man who came out first in the snatch. Managed 3 successful lifts, finishing on a personal record of 123 kilos.
Yeah, from Oceania, from Micronesia to be precise. Manuel Mingifel, 27 years of age.
Well, he's hyped up. He looks ready.
So, guarantees himself a total. Or I should say, yeah, 150 that was, wasn't it? So
on 273. So I think that's actually that's the personal best total, isn't it?
No, he's got a 282 and a half.
282.
Actually.
So he's actually clean and jerked
160.
160.
Yeah. That was in 2004 when he won the Oceania Championship, leading up to, of course, the Olympic Games, when he actually managed 152 and a half, but always difficult when you come to the Olympics. Pressure really on. Now Bazabayev from Turkmenistan, only 1 out of 3.
Yes, disappointing in the snatch.
But he's only 3 kilos below Adrian Gigao, who took the bronze at the halfway stage, so not out of it at the moment. But again, urgently needs to get this first lift home. Yeah, good and strong overhead. So he gets 150, gives him a total of 280 at the moment.
51 kilos.
Which in favor?
151 kilograms for Umurbek Bazarbayev, Turkmenistan, second attempt.
Wait for the yellow slow. Sorry for this.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure to inform you that starting from now, within a maximum of 10 minutes after every competition, you will find the results of the competition on the IWF internet website. And now loader is 153 kilos on the bar, please, because Bazarbayev was moving up.
Early days in the clean and jerk phase.
Belgium, last attempt.
So Tom coming out, third and final attempt.
Yes, looked good on his second, actually. Looked comfortable with 149. So now taking 153. I don't think this is beyond him. I think he could do this.
This is 3 kilos up on what he did in Sofia last April. So this for 276 total, which would be a kilo more than his European mark for 2005. No.
Yes, he had to get that just right. That's a shame, because I think he was strength-wise. I think he could have done it.
Yeah, the 3 kilos would have sort of made up for the disappointment of missing the third snatch as well, at least given him a better total. But you know, fair play. Gave it his best shot. Didn't quite come off. But at 30 years of age, still probably a couple of seasons, he may be thinking probably he could go to Beijing.
Yes, I think that's. I think if he wasn't intending to go to Beijing, he wouldn't be competing now.
Yeah,
I don't think he'd.
Well, like so many athletes these days, you have to make that decision. You can have a little rest after the Olympic Games, but the older you get, the shorter the rest seems to get, because you can't allow your condition to deteriorate so much that it's an impossible battle to get yourself back. But it's
which is what Suleimanoglu did.
Yeah.
Just left it just slightly too long.
So Taipei, Yangshan Swing, and this is a man for whom 160 should hold no fears.
Very good. Looks easy, doesn't it? Looks light. So 155 kilos to go with his 126, puts him on 281.
155 kilograms.
World record though is 325, just to put things in perspective again.
Well, no one's actually done that though, have they? That's the world standard. So
yeah.
Hasn't been achieved by anyone.
Yeah, that was established in 1998 and still stands today. So Adrian Gigao could well be the next lifter out onto the stage, and that would make some sense in his pattern of making sure that he gets one in and then builds.
No, it's Bulgaria.
But in fact it's Minchev, or Sevdalin Angelov Minchev, with 155. Only 125 kilos from the snatch phase. That's a very lowly total for this man.
Yes, he's not at his best by any means.
Well, he's got to stand still, and he did for long enough for the three referees to give him a good lift, but he's not a very convincing chappie tonight.
Yes, and I wonder how his training preparation went, if he perhaps sustained an injury, or certainly not himself.
Just about 9 o'clock at the moment in Doha City. Question at weightlifting.de if you've got any questions and points to us. We'll pick those up at the end of this evening's competition and try and answer any questions you have in tomorrow's 2 championship categories.
So Gigao
opening up,
156 kilos. Very strong, very fast,
very good.
So puts him on 289.
156 kilograms.
156, I would think that he's got thoughts of 165.
He was very comfortable with this, always comfortable in the first phase, always comfortable on the clean. So the youngster also taking 156. Remember, he's lighter, so this is a tactic to put him into the lead on the clean and jerk, but remember, was 3 kilos short on the snatch, so it wouldn't put him ahead of Gigao on the total.
And this is already looking a little heavy, but he is strong overhead. So Bazabayev gets the 156.
157 kilos.
But remember, he's used 2 of his attempts, whereas Gigao's still got 2 to go.
Stop the clock, please.
So the Cuban warming up, remember, failed 3 times with 125 on the snatch, but there are individual medals, so it's worth carrying on in the clean and jerk. So the bar now going to 157 kilos. So just cleaning some of the chalk off. And there's confirmation of the placings, although it's wrong at the moment. Again, that bodyweight thing, lighter man should be ahead.
Points in favor, 4, 3, 2, 1.
At this moment, we already still improve.
Come on, let him lead. That's you hold
Well, just
on for 10 minutes, man.
A very big thank you to Matt Booth, who's just sent us an email giving us some Chinese national results from the national games in 2005, and that 62 kilo category in the national championships, which happened between the 11th and 20th of October, Kui Li got the better of Zhang Ping, and that was 322.5 versus 320. So thank you so much for that information, and for being so prompt to pick up on us struggling a little bit without those statistics. So many thanks for that. We're watching the man from Micronesia at the moment.
Did well with 157, so he now takes the lead on the clean and jerk after that rather long wait to clean the bar.
157 kilograms of the bar.
And still has one lift left, so he's made 5 out of 5 so far. So he seems switched on though. He's given it everything this evening, and he's got one more chance to go even further.
158 kilos, please.
So we now wait to see what the next weight on the bar is going to be. And I can hear the announcer, 159 kilos.
Yeah, so just once again, Matt Booth, thank you very much indeed for those statistics. Have a good study of them.
Taking 159 kilograms for his second attempt.
Attention last.
So Zhigao. Playing the tactical game.
Second lift, 159.
Yes, I think he's playing safe. He wants the overall bronze, and when he's convinced he's got it, then maybe he'll do something a little special in the clean and jerk. But I think he's doing exactly the right thing. Very powerful legs. Easy, no problem at all.
160 kilos, please.
Well, what's really interesting about the clean and jerk is that Kui Li got the better of the argument, 172.5, 177.5, and Zhang, well, he had 172.5 and failed at 175. So Kui Li better in the clean and jerk phase by 5 kilos. Now he's down by 1, and he's the lighter of the two. Those statistics were the weights achieved in the 10th Chinese national games.
Amazing depth in the Chinese championships.
Well, Li Mao Sheng, a former star, only 4th at the moment. But anyway, let's focus on Yang from Taipei.
Of course, he could still challenge for the overall bronze medal.
He's certainly more comfortable in this phase than the snatch, and getting better.
So that puts him on 286. Of course, Zhigao is on 280, 292. So they've both got one lift left. He's still got some making up to do, but of course that does put him into the lead at the moment on the clean and jerk.
Yes, I mean, the difference is that Zhigao had the 133 in the snatch and he only had 126. That second failure in the snatch phase rather limited his ambitions, and that's where he's in difficulty now in terms of Zhigao trying to get back on terms.
60 kilograms remain on the bar for
and 160 is his Olympic mark for clean and jerk. Zhigao, well, interesting. Does he go for 165? Does he need to go for 165? Not really.
Well, I think he'd be looking at the a jerk, you know, improving on his jerk, or maintaining his jerk medal now. Because Jigawa, although he's in a very strong position for the bronze overall, he's still actually behind the man that just lifted in terms of it by a kilo. So he's behind Yang by a kilo. So it's a bit of a kind of private battle on the clean and jerk going on now for that bronze medal. Assuming, of course, that both of the Chinese men manage to get a lift in, which I'm sure they will.
Still a bit of clearing up to do though before we get to the head-to-head duel between the two Chinese lifters.
And in terms of, actually, it's not guaranteed. Jagu's still got to work. I mean, this man, although he's not at his best, Sevdalin, he's still dangerous.
Well, we've seen Bulgarians over the years produce one lift and pull things out of the fire. But that's where he is now. I don't think it's going to be his night, though. 7 kilo increase, 162. And remember, he's also the heaviest man in the whole field. So this will be for 287.
Яко с гърба и ставя веднага.
Давай, давай! Точно нагоре! Дръж там!
Well, puts him into the bronze medal on the clean and jerk.
Yes, you're saying he puts him into the bronze medal. He's actually gone into the lead at the moment, but we're counting on the fact that the two Chinese lifters are going to surpass everybody else. But at the moment, as he walks past Per Mattingsdal from Norway, another stalwart of the European weightlifting scene, but it's a struggle. This is not comfortable, it's not enjoyable.
And your punch in favor. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Stop. Go again.
When he's in the trenches. Now, Bazabayev, 162. And of course, this would put him into the lead for the moment in the clean and jerk by virtue of lighter body weight. But can he do it?
Not today.
No lift.
So that leaves him on 156, I'm afraid.
Of course, we still haven't seen the Cuban. He hasn't come in yet. I mean, I know he missed all his snatches, but he hasn't even started on the clean and jerk yet.
I suppose that's absolutely true. 167.5 is the clean and jerk kilos that he achieved in Havana. And now the man from Manuel Mingifel from Micronesia, all the M's. Third and final attempt. Good little sequence. 150, 157. First two.
This is gonna push him. His best is 160, so he wants it.
Well, he's been hungry all evening. Oh, what a pity. Would have been 6 out of 6.
No lift.
Paul Coffer feeling, but you can't criticise the man. He's given everything.
62 kilograms, please.
5 out of 6. And the only failure was an attempt at a new personal record on the clean and jerk.
Romania, last attempt. And now he has a chance to clear lift.
So Zhigao still looking good for the overall bronze, but as you said, the Cuban has not participated, but this is...
Well, I think he's just going to wait and see what he needs for a medal on the jerk.
Well, this is Zhigao, and
yeah, the Cuban's going to wait.
It's for a total of 295, and not there. The first error.
No lift.
Now, how crucial might that have been?
Well, it means that it's given chance now.
Well, just looking at now, we're looking really at Yang, aren't we?
Yes.
Of Taipei, because he was down. Well, he was down by 7 kilos. However, he's already got 3 of those back. And Yang weighed in at 61.29. He's lighter than Zhigao. So could he take 164?
No, he needs more than that, because he snatched 26, so he was 7 behind.
Yeah, but he's already
clean and jerked 60.
Yeah,
so he's only 1 ahead.
No, but Zhigao had
159.
159. Sorry. So he would need to have 166, wouldn't he? Yes, he need 166.
Is he heavier or lighter?
He's lighter.
He's lighter, so yes, 166. He needs to make that 7 kilos up.
166. Well, interesting. So Zhigao now has to do, I'm afraid, stand and wait.
66 kilograms.
Might be an uncomfortable few minutes for him.
The bar is definitely going to 166, which is exactly the right move. And
166 kilograms for Chu La. China.
So China perhaps coming and getting a safe lift in.
The other interesting fact is that we've no news about Curbelo of Cuba, but it's entirely possible that he's just given up the ghost.
Or he's just waiting to see what he needs for a medal on the clean and jerk.
I have to say, though, I would have expected him to, you know, if 167.5 is what he's got, I would have expected him to have made an appearance by now. And he might well. This is Kui Lee. And given that he opened up in the Chinese National Games with 172.5 in mid-October, that was a pretty conservative start.
6 kilograms. Cuba, first attempt. The current world ranking leader now takes a chance in clean.
Right, Cuba, 166. Let's just check on the body weight. 61.69 for Curbelo in picture now. 61.14 for Kui Lee, and Zhang 61.82. So Zhang, the heaviest of the trio. Well, he's had plenty of time, David, to sort himself out. Well, he's there, but it's hardly convincing. 166. It means that he zooms ahead of Zhigao, so he's guaranteed. Well, I'm saying he's guaranteed. He's not necessarily guaranteed, because we've got to wait for Yang now. Yang weighed 61.29 and Curbelo 61.69. So Curbelo's got a score on the board, but he wasn't that convincing. And if Yang could lift this up at 166 and grab the overall bronze medal, you never know. Maybe that's all Curbelo will manage. But but Zhang Ping to come in at 166 to open his account. So, first impressions, David, Kui Li or Zhang?
Hard to say. They're both very comfortable with 166.
Major international competition. 166 kilograms.
Who wants it most?
So you got three men on 166, but it is Kui Li who leads the clean and jerk rankings. But remember, he's still a kilo behind Zhang in the chase for the big prize, the overall championship.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Stop talking, please. Cue again.
Now, if ever we wanted somebody to lift a bar up, this is the moment.
Well, this would give him the overall, put him in the overall bronze position above Zhigao of Romania. So, last attempt, crucial lift.
And he's light, 61.29, so he can get in amongst the clean and jerk medals as well. But it's really overall bronze. Come on! Oh, come on! Bring
Really
that.
needs to. Oh,
Give that left.
very good effort.
That is a
excellent effort. Terrific effort. He deserves that.
He does. Now, is he going to get it?
Just at that point where you thought he was going to lose it, he managed to hold on. So Zhigao is pushed down into 4th place.
That is a really super. It was 2-1, and it was that close. But he really deserved this. The way he guts this out. 22 years of age, from Taipei, and now assured of the overall bronze medal. So, great recovery, having been down behind Zhigao 7 kilos at the halfway stage. And Zhigao will feel gutted. Absolutely gutted, because Zhigao it was who took 162, his 3rd attempt in the clean and jerk, should have done it, couldn't do it, lost the overall bronze, and there's a very happy young man. So real Asian dominance here at the World Championships in every sense of the word.
The jury decided that the previous lift was no lift.
Oh, well, you may have heard that in the background, which is why we're being quiet. The jury, who have the right to overrule the referees, it was a 2-1 decision in his favour. The jury have decided that this lift, it's a press out that they've given. They have overruled it. It used to have to be a majority decision. These days, used to have to be a unanimous decision. These days, it's a majority decision, and they have overruled the referee's decision and given Zhigao back the bronze medal, and I think that's a very tough call.
Very tough. When you consider some of the lifts that have been passed, it is.
So now Minchev. Well, what on earth? It would have been nice to have seen a picture of Zhigao's face through all of that. Now Minchev on 162. That was his 2nd attempt. The bar now.
Well, I think we're still on 166. No, I think we've moved.
No, we've moved up.
167. Could even be 168.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be, because he's the heaviest man.
I would have thought 67. Head job. Needs to get it together. Well, if he gets it together after that, I'll be amazed. No, he didn't believe.
169 kilos.
I mean, I think to be fair, David, there was clear evidence of the press outs. I think we were being emotional really by wishing Yang to get that, but to be honest, there were press outs.
So that last weight, 168. It's now gone to 169.
I think the frustration is that there was a point where he had actually locked out the lift, and that's the whole debating point, isn't it, about whether we should really penalise press outs or not. But now we're back to the Cuban going for clean and jerk honours at 169. And of course this is going to absolutely guarantee him the bronze medal in the clean and jerk.
It will actually put him into the gold at the moment.
It will, but we're assuming, aren't we, that the two Chinese lifters can surpass 169. On the evidence of what we know from the national games, they certainly should be able to do that, but 169 to 172 and a half, 175, it's not a huge gap. But I thought the first attempt wasn't that impressive.
Well, the second one was good. Oh, what a shame.
No lift.
Well, he'd done all the hard work there.
169 kilograms remain on the bar.
Just went straight out of his mind.
Relaxed just at the last moment. He'd done everything he needed to do and then relaxed.
Well, he's got one more go at it, but he's a coach's nightmare today, isn't he? And I'm pretty sure the two Chinese lifters are going to let him be done with, and then they'll come back in and we'll finish it off. They can see Cabela there, 166. He's in the medals at the moment, in the silver medal position by virtue of his body weight. However, what that table doesn't really tell you is how expensive that 169 was, because if he'd got the 169, he then could have arguably, David, had a lift for nothing. Whatever the two Chinese lifters, he could have put 176 on the bar, could have put whatever he wanted on the bar just to go for the glory.
But I think the most he could hope for, though, is to get the 169, guarantee the consolation of a bronze medal on the clean and jerk, and then just wait and see what happens.
70 kilograms, please.
One or two moments from earlier on in the class. Tom Gerber, Manuel from Micronesia.
170.
Good sequence, 5 out of 6.
Zhang Ping, China. Second attempt.
Well, I think the bar's going to move up. Zhang Ping, I think it is. It is indeed. Well, this is interesting. It means that Cabela's decided that he can't be worse than bronze anyway, so he might as well go for the glory lift. He's in the silver medal position at the moment, so here goes Zhang, 170.
And of course he's bought himself some time as well.
Yeah. So he's Zhang, who's got this 1 kilo advantage over Kui Li from the snatch phase. Both of them opened on 166. Kui Li's the lighter, this man the heavier. So the advantage, 4 kilos.
171 kilos, please.
So the bar, Anniko Nemeth announcing an extra kilo to be loaded.
China, second attempt.
So Kui Li for 171. So this 171 would put them even Steven. with Quili going into the overall lead by virtue of his lighter body weight.
Very good. Well, he looks the more comfortable for my money, especially in the second phase, the jerk phase.
Yep, 3:15.
It's a wonderful competition between both Chinese.
3:15
And in this competition,
for Zhang. 3:15 now for Li. Li, who got the better of Zhang by 5 kilos in the Chinese National Games. But it's all going to come down to the last 2 lifts, as it should. Now here's an interesting situation. 171. I'm fascinated by this because Curbelo is actually weighed in at 61.69. Quili at 61.14. So why didn't he go for 172? On the basis that the 2 Chinese lifters might miss their last attempts.
Well, I think he just you know, he's,
I don't understand.
He's missed 66 and he's missed.
Well, no, he
got 66. He missed 69. I think, you know, there is a limit to what you can do, not just physically but psychologically. I mean, he's 4. Yeah, but he's got 4 kilos above his best.
But he's got the bronze medal anyway. So why not put an extra kilo on and go for the gold? And then if the other 2 guys blow out.
Well, this would put him in the silver medal position at the moment, wouldn't it? Ugh. Everything was so close today. He just wasn't quite focused, was he?
No. Well, he was out to lunch, frankly, during the snatch phase, which is where it all went wrong. And you know, that missing that second clean and jerk when, as you said, he'd done all the hard work. I'm afraid. Well, it's a funny old consolation.
Not his day today.
No. So now, 2 men, 2 lifts, 1 gold medal. Quili, who has got better and better and looks better and better right the way through the championship, and Zhang.
And now this man's got to go to doping control. He's had such a rough day and now he's been pulled for doping.
I've no sympathy. That's the name of the game. This sport needs to get on top of its
well, I think this sport is on top of its problem. They do.
Well,
I mean, they actually genuinely punish people when they
absolutely
when they fail drug tests.
I still want to see. I still want to see all the tests published on the federation's website, so we know who's being tested, when they're being tested, and what the results.
Yeah, but it should be the same for all sports. You can't just come down on one.
Absolutely, I don't disagree with that.
You can't have double standards.
No, it isn't double standards, David. It's just anyway. Forget that. We're on to the main event. Zhang, last lift.
Oh well, he's missed it, so he's not going to.
He's not going to win.
He's already in second place, and it's just up to his teammate now to take some more if he wants, or he could actually just call it a day.
Yeah, Quili, by virtue of lighter body weight now, both men on 3:15, which incidentally is 5 kilos below their total that they entered. Not that, to be honest, means a great deal, but they aspired to both lift 320. So the older of the 2 Chinese lifters, Zhang Ping, has to be satisfied with a silver medal overall. He takes the gold from the snatch phase, but he came here for gold. And
well, the bar's going to at least 175 now.
Well,
so this would be 319, wouldn't it?
Well, I'm just looking at the world record. Well, world record for clean and jerks 182.
I think the bar's gone to 178.
Well,
maybe he's going for a world record.
No, world record would be more than 182.
178. So this must just be a, I mean, he's already won. This is just a personal thing.
Well, just looking at the, he did 177.5 in the Chinese National Games. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So a new national mark for him. And just emphasising that of the two, at the age of 22, he is very much the rising star. And as you said, with quite a lot about him, quite a lot of personality. Well, these two guys have had a great fight.
And a share of the gold medals.
So, quick photograph for the album, something on the internet for back home. And a very good second day's competition we've had today. Some really good lifting in the women's division and in the men's competitions. Of